The first thing everyone remembered was the splash. The brown, oily water arcing through the air and crashing against his white shirt. Followed by the sharp silence that fell over the courtyard as a woman realized she had just humiliated the man she loved in front of dozens of strangers. Lena hadn't meant to do it. Or maybe she had, in that split second when humiliation, exhaustion, and years of swallowed anger boiled over. She had been standing near the rusted water drum at the back of the factory yard, her hands shaking from another 12-hour shift, when she saw him step out of the black car. Clean, calm, unbothered. The contrast between his polished shoes and the mud-caked ground beneath her feet felt like an insult she could no longer endure. Words failed her. Tears burned her eyes. And then the bucket tipped. Dirty water drenched Daniel from collar to waist. Gasps rippled through the workers. Men and women who knew Lena, who knew her parents, who had worked beside her since she was a teenager. Someone whispered her name in horror. Someone else whispered his. Daniel stood frozen, water dripping from his sleeves, his expression unreadable. Lena's breath came in ragged pulls as realization struck her like a slap. She had just poured filth on her husband. She didn't know he owned the company her entire family worked for. Lena and Daniel's story had begun quietly, almost invisibly, the way most real lives do. They met on a crowded bus during the rainy season, both soaked, both laughing at the absurdity of trying to stay dry in a city that never slowed down. Daniel had offered her half his umbrella at the stop, and she had rolled her eyes before accepting. He was polite, observant, and seemed genuinely interested in her stories about factory life, about her father's aching back and her mother's swollen hands from years of sorting materials. He never flinched when she spoke about money, or the lack of it. Daniel never spoke much about himself. He said he worked in management consulting, which sounded important but vague enough not to invite questions. He dressed simply when they were together, took public transport, ate street food with her family, and listened more than he spoke. When he proposed 2 years later, it was with a simple ring and trembling hands. Lena said yes because she felt safe with him, seen by him. She believed love didn't need luxury to be real. After they married, reality grew heavier. Lena continued working at the manufacturing company where her parents had spent their lives. Daniel encouraged her gently to rest, to consider other options, but she insisted. Her salary supported her parents and younger brother. Every month was a careful balance between survival and hope. The factory was brutal. Management changed policies without warning. Overtime became mandatory. Safety equipment was rationed. Complaints disappeared into locked offices. Lena watched her father come home limping more each year, watched her mother's hands tremble when she tried to hold a cup. When workers protested, supervisors threatened termination. Fear ruled the place. Daniel listened to all of it at night while washing dishes beside her, his jaw tightening, his questions precise. Lena thought he was simply concerned. She never imagined he was memorizing every detail. The biggest challenge came when the company announced a restructuring. Hundreds of workers would be laid off. Lena's father was on the list. The night she told Daniel, she cried until her chest hurt. Her father was too old to start over. The factory was all he knew. Daniel held her and promised things would be okay, but his voice carried a weight she couldn't understand. The next morning, he left early, saying he had an important meeting. That was the day Lena stayed late at work, scrubbing oil residue from the floor long after her shift ended. Her supervisor barked orders, blaming workers for declining output. When the black car arrived in the courtyard, everyone froze. A visit from corporate meant trouble. Lena didn't recognize the man stepping out until he turned. Daniel. Her mind rejected the image at first, searching for an explanation that didn't exist. He wore a tailored suit she had never seen, his posture different, authoritative. Executives surrounded him like satellites. A supervisor rushed forward, bowing slightly. Rage exploded inside Lena before understanding could catch up. Every sleepless night, every cut finger, every tear her parents had shed came roaring to the surface. She grabbed the nearest bucket without thinking. The water flew. When it hit him, Lena saw something in Daniel's eyes. Not anger, not shock, but sorrow. Deep, quiet sorrow. He raised a hand to stop the guards who surged forward, then calmly removed his jacket, handing it to an assistant. He looked at Lena as if they were alone. "I'm sorry," he said softly, in a voice only she could hear. She collapsed then, the weight of her mistake crushing her lungs. She expected shouting, punishment, arrest. Instead, Daniel turned to the stunned crowd and spoke words that would ripple through their lives forever. "This company exists because of these workers," he said. "And today, I have failed them." The days that followed were the hardest Lena had ever lived. She avoided Daniel, consumed by shame and betrayal in equal measure. How could he hide something so big? How could he watch her family suffer while holding the power to change it? Daniel didn't defend himself with excuses. He told her the truth instead. He had inherited the company after his father's sudden death. He had kept it secret because he wanted to understand the business from the ground up, to see it through the eyes of those who depended on it. He admitted he had waited too long to act, afraid of disrupting systems without knowing the full impact. "I thought observing was enough," he said one night, his voice breaking. "I was wrong. Change didn't come with speeches. It came with action." Layoffs were reversed. Lena's father was reinstated with reduced hours and full benefits. Safety standards were enforced. Wages increased. A workers' council was formed, and Lena was invited to be part of it. For the first time, people were listened to. Still, healing their marriage was harder than fixing a company. Lena struggled with guilt over the public humiliation. Daniel struggled with the distance between them. They fought, they cried, they sat in silence. The challenge wasn't just forgiveness, it was learning to trust again, to speak before resentment turned into something destructive. The turning point came when Lena's mother fell ill. Hospital bills piled up. Lena panicked, old fears resurfacing. Daniel took her hands and said, "We face this together. No secrets." And they did. Months later, Lena returned to the factory courtyard. This time, it was clean, bright, alive with cautious hope. Workers greeted her with smiles. Her father stood taller. Her mother's hands were healing. Daniel stood beside her, no suit, no guards. Lena squeezed his hand, remembering the splash of dirty water, the pain it carried, and the truth it revealed. Sometimes love doesn't break because of cruelty, but because of silence. Sometimes the hardest challenges force the deepest honesty. And sometimes, the most humiliating moment becomes the beginning of a life rebuilt on courage, accountability, and compassion, stronger than either of them had ever been alone.